Limmy's World of Glasgow. Xander.
My sister had asked me to take my nephew Peter to go and see the headmaster at school, 'cause he's been getting in a bit of trouble. The headmaster had sent her a letter asking for a meeting, but she couldn't make it. She was gone out, so I says, I'll do it. I took him up about 7. It was the same school as I went to. Different headmaster though. I took him up, chapped on the door, come in. I went in, I couldn't believe my eyes. It was my old teacher, Mr. McAllister. It didn't even click with me that the headmaster I nowadays could have been the teacher that I got when I was wee, the same McAllister. And this guy was a bastard. Think of the worst teacher you can get. Think of a right bastard teacher. It's him. It's Mr. McAllister. He was evil. I sat down, I told him that I was here in place of my sister to talk about Peter. He says, okay. I says, do you remember me, Mr. McAllister? He says, no, were you a former pupil? I says, aye, do you not remember? Wee Alexander, you always told me to stop playing with the lassies. Whenever I put a wee flower in my ink pot on my desk, you'd take it out and stamp it on the ground. Do you remember? He says, oh, I can't quite remember that. He looked a bit embarrassed about it for being such a bastard. I says, you remember everything, you. He says, well, are we here to talk about you, Alexander, or are we here to talk about Peter? I says, right, okay. Mr. McAllister says, Peter could ask you just to wait outside for 10 minutes as we have a chat together about you. I says, on you go, Peter, we'll just be 10 minutes. And out he went and he shut the door behind him. He didn't need to get told. He's a lovely wee boy. I don't know why he was in trouble in the first place. And Mr. McAllister says, right now, about Peter's behaviour recently. I said, you were a right bastard to me. I got punny eckies aplenty. I got told to stand outside. I got my horns wrapped for next to nothing after you. You were a total bastard. He says, look, I can't be seen to back down in front of the child. But I can just say to you right now, Alexander, I apologise if I was too rough. But you look like you've turned out alright. I says, oh no, I'm still a very, very bad boy, Mr. McAllister. And he has a wee laugh. He says, oh, aren't we all? I says, no, Mr. McAllister, I've been a very, very bad boy. You had no reply for that. I got up, I stood at the end of his big oak desk. I bent at it and I said, I've been a very naughty boy and I need a right good spank. He thought I was taking the piss and he didn't rise to it. So I took my denims and my pants down to show him I meant business. I says, I've been a bad boy, now you spank me. And he done it. He didn't get off his seat. He just sat there, leaned there, and just gave me a wee spank. About 3 or 4 spanks into it, he stood up and started really giving it some welly. I says, Mr. McAllister, that's me being a very bad boy, but I've been a very, very, very bad boy. Get the finger out. And he did. With every spank, he had a wee finger sticking out like a nail jutting out a bit of wood. I started to realise that it wouldn't be long until Peter was champing at that door again. So I just thought, right, let's just get to it. I turned around, I looked Mr. McAllister right in the eyes, and I said, fuck my dirt box. Down his trousers came, down with the boxers, out with the cock, up it went. And did he fuck my dirt box? Did he ever? I've not had it that rough for years. You just don't get that half a poof. He climaxed, he spunked up us, and he gave us a punch right to the fucking arse. We got ourselves tidied up and I says, Peter, do you want to come in now? And he came, never had a clue about what was going on in the last 10 minutes. He walked about 3 foot into the room. Mr. McAllister says, it's okay, Peter, it's okay, you're a good boy. I said to Mr. McAllister, it's a rare thing these days. Gave him a wee wink, but he just pure stuttered something. He just says, right, okay. You look totally ashamed and totally embarrassed. Aww.